What is your name?
My name is Blaze Collier Banks.
How old are you?
I am 13 years old.
What is your project?
My project here at Brightworks is to quote-unquote survive in the woods.
How will you survive?
I will build shelter in Point Reyes National Park, slightly off a campground where my cameraman, the man behind the camera, Devlin, will be. I might possibly do a water scenario where I put plastic wrap under the sun and see what happens, but I've really narrowed down my goal to building a shelter. Sadly, cannot build fire for some reasons, obviously. And I will spend 2 nights in my shelter that I built, and I should have it done by the first day, hopefully most of it.
What preparations have you made?
So far, we have booked a campsite. I have researched a lot about the shelters, a lot about some medical, like a little bit about some medical stuff, like what happens if someone got bit in the artery by a mountain lion and they have to stop bleeding, a little bit of that stuff.
When will your project end?
Should end in a few weeks here. When we get back next week, we're gonna be a simpler schedule, edit, work on presentation. So it should end, I think, in 3 weeks.
What will you accomplish?
I will accomplish, quote-unquote, surviving, this original idea, but of course now it's more like sleep in my shelter for 2 nights.
When will you leave?
It is Tuesday, May 10th. I will leave tomorrow and go for 2 nights until Friday.
So, where are we going, Blaze?
Heading to the campsite. The hike's about a mile and a third. I don't know, we're probably an eighth of a mile in. Maybe a little, not that much.
So, Blaze, where are we?
We're at Point Reyes. As you can see, this beautiful background. Just drive at our campsite 20 minutes ago. Getting some stuff set up. This is where I will be making my shelter around this general area, a little bit on the edge of the campsite. So far, you see some good sticks. There's a bunch of dead tree ligaments that I can cut off that are definitely long enough that I can use for part of my shelter. And then there's a good amount of sticks lying around that I can use on the sides. Not so many leaves, but I'm not too worried about it because the leaves are mostly important when you're surviving in really harsh cold weathers. That they're not important. I'll try to find as many as I can.
Could you give us a tour around the campsite?
Sure. This is our table with a bunch of stuff on it. There's our bear box, place for our bears, the animal-proof box. There's my dad looking at the tent, fixing up the tent. There is the beautiful seashore over there. And then there's me and you behind the tent. Getting a bit of the rougher grit side to get some of the burrs and whatnot out, some of the rough edge. Once I feel like it's good enough, once that, I'll move to the finer side so I can get it pretty damn straight right here. Some rocks here. It's not the best. Just focus my digging here. Very rocky soil, which isn't. Oh, never mind. It was just that one. 2 rocks. Oh, that's not a good sound.
Yeah.
Let me get underneath this rock and pry it out.
So, how much progress have you made?
I made pretty good. Time is around 3. I do have probably 3 more hours to work on it, and I've probably been doing it for about an hour. Right now we have an outline with sticks, and the first part, which is kind of I don't really know the terminology for it because it's actually pretty rare or like just hard to find type of shelter that I can't find much on. but I'll call it like the pole that goes up here. Then you're gonna have a log sticking down back to there. This back part right here,
Right,
of
sorry.
which I will sleep in.
So, what are you doing right here?
So, I had a lot of trouble getting to lash the log onto the stick going up. So my idea is I make it, it's on a cross, but it looks like one. I have this part going here, it looks a little like that, but it's pretty sturdy. Then I have the log sitting on top of here, goes down, and this log is going to be spanning the entire length on top of my shelter. And right now I'm just, you can see I put a lot of twine into this. Yeah?
How did you learn to do this?
I learned very hastily yesterday with Daniel, who was one of our collaborators at Brightworks.
What do you even call this technique?
It's called lashing. There's a few types of it, a lot to lash two logs together. Say if you're doing one log here ends and then another here. I have not learned that one. I will not need it this trip. I just have learned where you lash two logs together, I guess, at a 45-degree angle, or at any angle, I guess. Gotta cut it with my... I shoveled a lot of dirt today. The hole doesn't need to be as deep as the other one. Maybe like 3 or 4 inches, maybe 5.
Why are you making this hole?
So you see this cross, that's not a Jesus cross over here. Not a Jesus cross. Just a normal cross. We're laying this big long piece of wood on one of the sides. And it looks unstable, but it's not, I doubt it's going to fall over. And then the end, we marked it, kind of lands about this area, this part. And it kind of goes down in. So I kind of just need to make a little hole for it. Definitely not going to hurt myself doing that.
So, what are you doing right now, Blaze?
I am going to do some more lashing on this part, which is the part that will hold this onto the non-Jesus cross, as I like to call it. And lashing, I'm not very good at, but I think I'm getting better, to say the least. Just need to try a clove hitch knot, which is a pretty simple one. And I like to just knot it at the end. And then I get to this part where I go there, and then go there again, go down, and this is called lashing.
How long does this process usually take?
It can take quite a while. So a strong lash, you go like a lot. I'm probably gonna use the rest of this thread, which is all the last of my thread. But where am I? But I shouldn't, I shouldn't need any more after this. So I think I'll be set. This is
So, how's the progress that you've made on your shelter?
very good. Still not quite there. Won't be fully done till tomorrow, I believe. But it's going pretty well. We've got most of it covered. There's still gaps, like this general area. I would want to have it more thick. This needs some there. Tomorrow I'll probably make like some way where this is kind of where I exit. Some way where
So, how far along is the project?
as far as it will go today. I'm going to sleep in it tonight. Which is good. It's looking pretty good. The wind has died down. It is like 7 o'clock, so almost 7:30. It's beautiful out, still light. Tomorrow, I think in the morning, or I mean, whenever, we're gonna do some reinforcing. Still a little thin. There's still like visible gaps, and we'll fill those tomorrow with just more wood. And we'll also cover this area and make like a little door. Not that it will actually look like a door. I'll just push it to the side or whatever. And it looks great. I'm glad we got this far on this. I kind of felt like I would end up not getting anything done and have to sleep in the tent, which would suck. But I'm glad it's sleep worthy.
So, how was your sleeping, Blaze?
It was pretty good from what I've heard so far. Better than the boys in the tent. There were definitely parts where I was awake for a certain amount of time. But I thought it was really great. The wind is very loud, but I did not get that much wind. Maybe a bit in my head. Considering how thin it is, I didn't get that much wind, and we're gonna really thicken up the sides today, so I think tonight's sleep will be, I'll be really warm in here.
So, you going to bed?
Yeah, just about to go to bed here. It is almost 9 o'clock or 2000 for y'all metric system users. I think the wind resistance should be good tonight because I reinforced our wind side a bit more. But there is also less wind tonight. And we'll wrap it up tomorrow morning with our outro scene. And
Actually, what is your decision on if you're going to keep this here or not?
oh, we've talked about it a bit, but I think I'm gonna keep this here, this structure. Maybe we can leave a note saying I built this for my projects, and maybe people can play with it, you know. But it's pretty well engineered, so I don't think it will fall over easily or anything like that. Good night.
So, how did this experience feel to you?
I would say it was a complete success. It was very surreal that it was actually happening. And it was also really amazing that I actually got this done within the first day. Most of it, at least. And I did do some securing last night. There was no wind at all during the night. I slept better than the first night. I actually think I slept better than the tent, people in the tent. I thought it was an amazing experience. And I wouldn't change it in any way.
Would you do this again if you could?
Absolutely. I want to try it in different environments, maybe different types of shelters now. Definitely something I could experiment with and keep on doing that long in my life.
What do you take away from this experience?
I take away skills, knowledge of how to build shelter, and a bit on how to survive. Specifically, I didn't really learn that much about food, because we really ended up focusing on the shelter aspect of this.
What was that? What was that twig snapping?